Well, hey everyone, and welcome along to Game 3 of the Falkirk free-for-all. It's up against another dwarf army. David Reids this time. As I mentioned before, I think it's his first time at the tournament with dwarfs, he told me. So it's another gunline, which basically means I'm running at some guns, and he's going to try and stop me getting there. Anyway, on to deployment. On his right flank, he has a gyrocopter. Then everything is bottled up in the centre. It's a unit of 18 Iron Drakes, a cannon, a unit of Longbeards with his general and shield bearers and battle standard bearer. I believe there's a Thane in there as well. Then he has another cannon, a grudge thrower, a big ass unit of quarrelers with great weapons, which I can't really bother counting, so you can do that yourself if you want. And then out here he has an organ gun, and on the far left he has two more gyrocopters, bombers, copters things. So that's his deployment. My deployment, this was after Vanguards. I have a unit of Doomfire Warlocks on the right, then my Master on Dark Pegasus. I then have a Repeating Bolt Thrower, my unit of 30 Executioners. I've Vanguarded up a unit of Dark Riders there. I have another Bolt Thrower and another Vanguarded unit of Dark Riders. Over on this side I have my Witch Elves, Cauldron, Hellbrawn and all, and another unit of Doomfire Warlocks with my Saucers. So the scenario for this one was, I forget, I think it was battle line, and you had to destroy one of each type, or 4 different kinds of units to get an extra 3 tournament points for this one. And to complete the main objective was to hold the red carded area in the middle for a full game turn. Would get you 1 point with a scoring unit, which is basically 5 or more models. So as you can see, I've Vanguarded it in and went for that straight away, figuring that dwarfs aren't going to move. I will try my best to get a bonus victory points for, or bonus tournament points for that. So we go in, I get first turn. I just move my 2 units of Dark Riders up into scoring positions. My hope here is it's a round that he will spend shooting at the Dark Riders to prevent me scoring, or failing that, if he decides to shoot at other things and leaves the units intact, I will either get points or I shall be able to charge, take out the organ gun with the unit of riders on the right at turn 2. But basically at the minute it's dwarf gunline, so I'm just throwing everything forward. There's not much else that happens in that turn. My magic is pretty useless at the minute, we leave it as is. So I've just ran everything up and it goes on to dwarf turn 1. So his 2 gyrocopters fly across my Doomfire Warlock unit, dropping bombs. However, after ward saves, he only managed to kill 1. So in the shooting, he does 4 wounds to each of the Dark Riders unit, putting them down to 1 model. Meaning I can't score points for holding the middle, and I'm probably not going to do very well if I charge into a war machine, so I'll see what I can use them for. He fires a grudge thrower at my Pegasus Rider. I fail the 3-up ward save, but he only does 1 wound, so I got off lightly there. So my Master, who done so well in the last game against war machines, is holding up so far. And we go into my turn 2. And once again, I start barreling forward. I pop both units, my Witch Elves and my Executioners, into the scoring zone. I keep them there till I go again. As long as at least one of those units is intact, I gain 1 point. And I don't think the dwarfs will be getting any, so that will score me extra tournament points. As you see, everything moves up. I pop my Doomfire Warlocks hiding in behind the Witch Elves, prevents the BS shooting from hitting them, and you'll need a good shot with a cannon or so to make sure he can take anything out. Over on this side, my Master has charged into the organ gun, and my Doomfire Warlocks just come round the forest at the back here, heading towards the back lines. I, into the magic phase, get off Pit of Shades, which he elects to use his Scroll of Spell Eating, and eats a spell means no more Pit of Shades for the rest of the game for Darren. That's very unfortunate, because it's the best spell against dwarfs. Into Dwarf turn 2, his Gyro Bomber comes up and flames the Doomfire Warlocks. He then drops a cannonball, or a grudge thrower, sorry, on the Sorceress. Doesn't get a lookout sir, who fails her ward save and Kersplat. 3 for 3, my Sorceress has died in all 3 games. So, not much luck there. The one Dark Rider I had left up there sitting in front of the Quarrelers gets shot off the boards. There's now a dwarf somewhere using him as a pincushion. Up here, Gyrocopter comes across to try and hit my bolt thrower, charge him next turn most likely. Oh, actually, I tell a lie. What actually happened in the last picture is that the Dwarf Quarrelers shot my Pegasus Rider to death. Just couldn't make enough saves, and the Dark Rider elected to flee. And spoiler alert, he's on double ones to rally, he doesn't make it, and runs off the board in a couple of turns. Yeah, there's a picture of him there. Fortunately, I'm hoping that he won't rally, because if I roll double ones, then that means my Executioners can't move forward, and I'm going to spend an extra turn getting shot at. The Cauldron of Blood just angles itself forward. I'm getting ready to charge next turn. I've taken a wound from a cannonball going through on the Cauldron, I think. Actually, what this is, I believe, is a failed charge on the... Yeah, it's a failed charge on the... I can't remember what they're called. Iron... Well, the flaming attacks dwarfs with melter guns, basically. I can't remember what they're called now. Iron Drakes, that's the word. Iron Drakes. I tried to charge them, I failed to charge, and I go a few inches forward. My Executioners don't elect to charge, they march up as close as they can, meaning that next turn they get to charge the Quarrelers. So he does have one turn of firing everything he has in it then. Over here, my Doomfire Warlocks just come across. I'm hoping for a Doombolt or a charge somewhere, take something out. I'm a bit of a loss, I need to get into combat here because I'm just taking so many casualties. So this goes into Dwarf turn 3. And as you can see here, there's a Dark Rider just fleeing off the board. There's Gyrocopter moving up. I think he's going to move up and flame my Witch Elves. But in this turn, I lose 11 Executioners to the shooting of the Dwarfs. Hopefully I'll get in there and be able to finish off that unit of Quarrelers in. They don't get their standing shoot reaction because I'm too close. 19 Executioners getting in there should help. Over here, the Iron Drakes shoot off my unit of Doomfire Warlocks. Just too many shots to make 4 up ward saves. And the Steam Gun takes off a rank from my Witch Elves. Over here, the Steam Gun and the Grudge Thrower, I think, take off the rest of my Doomfire Warlocks. So I now have no magic. So that makes the dwarfs happy. We go into my turn 4, and my Executioners charge. My Witch Elves charge and fail again. That's basically the story of this tournament. My Witch Elves just fail to charge everything they go at. Until they're so close that they can't fail. So I'll get 21 Witch Elves left, or 20 Witch Elves left plus Elbron and the Cauldron. Not a good place to be. is right in the lines of the dwarfs, as they can shoot before I can get another charge in. This little guy fails to rally again and just continues running. The gyrocopter charges into the bolt thrower and only does 1 wound, so held up for a turn. But he will kill it next turn. So my executioners just go to work on the dwarfs. As much damage as I can, just put on the unit. He is on Snake Eyes to rally after he kills 4 back, and he rolls Snake Eyes. So my whole hope for that there was to break through and get into the next war machine, but that certainly ruins all my plans. Meaning I have to spend another turn chopping down quarrelers with great weapons. Between the Iron Drakes and the Gyrocopter, I'm left with my champion, a standard bearer, Hellbrawn, and my Cauldron. So that sucked immensely. But what can you do? Dwarf shooting's always going to be like that. We go into the combat over here, and the Gyrocopter finishes off the bolt thrower. And we're into my turn 5. Oh, sorry, we finished the combat here and I kill off the rest of the dwarfs that were there. Then we're into my turn 5 and this guy makes it off the board. He's not coming back. I finally managed to get a couple of charges in. My executioners go into the grudge thrower, Hellbrawn, the Cauldron, and the champion and standard bearer go into there. I do lose my champion in a challenge. No, I lose my champion. Hellbrawn kills a fair amount. But I do believe they are steadfast and stick around. They put a couple of wounds on the Cauldron. Over here into Dwarf turn 5, he sprays another couple of shots at my executioners as they needed 5 inches to overrun into the cannon and rolled 3. So that was not a lot going for me. So that's another two guns at the executioners there. As you can see, they do an awful lot of damage. I'm left with about 6 or 7 executioners. He also charges the Iron Drakes into the flank of the Cauldron. Going for sheer weight of attacks, he's going to try and take it down. Over here, my 3 remaining executioners get into the cannon. I'm trying to get some points back because I'm really not doing too well at the minute. In the combat, I managed to kill off a load of the dwarfs in the big unit. He puts enough wounds through on the Cauldron that it's dead, and Hellbrawn is left in there herself, so she has no save, but she will get her 10 strength, 10 attacks to do as much damage as possible. And in the last turn of the game, Hellbrawn dies. She does a bit more damage, doesn't get me any more points though, and that's how it looks. So we both made the secondary objective for killing 4 different types of units, and the primary objective, no sorry, that was the primary objective. The primary objective I got, which was the extra 500 points for gaining the most points from holding the centre. So this ended up actually a lot closer than it looks, and it was an 11-9 victory to David. But we both gained 3 points for achieving the secondary objective, which makes it a 14-12 victory to David. So this was the end of day 1. I am on table 2 with a 14-12 loss, which puts me on a total of 50 points after day 1. So my first game tomorrow, game 4, is against Lee Martin, and it's the first day that, and it's obviously the second day, so the Eternity King, the Nagashis, the Carol Frans, Ascendants, they're all allowed back into normal run of play. And I'm up against a host of the Eternity King, including Malekith. So we'll see how that goes. I'm back on table 2, so I start the day in 4th place. So I'm on the second table. I'm still up there. Unfortunately, with the Eternity King list, we'll see. I don't expect to be in the top couple of tables at the end of the day. But maybe if I can avoid another very shooty army, or if I can pull off a lucky win against Malekith, we'll see how I do. But thanks for listening. That's game 3 done, and we'll see you on game 4. Thank you very much. There he goes.